Hello, friends, and welcome to Sleep Tight Stories. I'd like to say hello to Aurora in Puerto Rico. Hello to Joe and Oliver in Texas. Hello to Zoe. Hello to Audra in Georgia. And hello to Ariana. Happy belated birthday to Abigail Joy Quinn from Melbourne, Australia, who turned 6 on May 17th. Happy belated birthday to Rosalind in Columbus, Ohio, who turned 8 on May 17th. Happy belated birthday to Wade, who had his birthday on May 19th. Happy belated birthday to J.J. Clark from Kansas, who just graduated preschool and turned 5 on May 18th. Mommy loves you. Happy birthday to Mia in Halifax, who is turning 8. Daddy, Mommy, and 7 love you so much. Happy birthday to Eleanor from Cascade Locks, Oregon, who is turning 5 on May 22nd. Happy birthday to Sage Angel from Cloverdale, California, who is turning 7 on May 23rd. Have fun playing Fortnite with Kane and Vasco. Happy birthday to Weston from Waterloo, Ontario, who is turning 12 on May 24th. Happy birthday to George Armstrong from Letchworth, England, who is turning 8 on May 25th. From Mommy, Daddy, and Brother Seb. Happy birthday to Oliver in Westchester, Ohio, who is turning 8 on May 26th. Happy birthday to Kian, who is turning 9 on May 26th. And happy birthday to Ian Hunt, who is turning 7 on May 27th. Happy birthday to you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Shoutouts and birthday wishes are one way we give thanks to our supporters. If you would like to support us and receive more bedtime entertainment like this, all ad-free, please visit our support page at sleeptightstories.org/support. Thank you. Jake is having trouble sleeping, and it is making him tired for swimming practice and school. Is he looking at his phone or reading too much in bed? No, he is hearing strange noises that are waking him up and getting his overactive imagination going. When Jake looks out the window and sees his new neighbors doing strange things at 2 a.m., he wonders, could they be vampires? Are Jake's new neighbors vampires? Jake had been having trouble sleeping lately, which bothered him because it made him tired for early morning swim practice. If his coach caught him yawning, he would get in big trouble, and lately, he had been yawning a lot. It wasn't that he had bad dreams. In fact, Jake did most of his dreaming while he was awake. Of course, he wasn't allowed to look at his phone after a certain hour. His parents were too strict. Why didn't they understand the value of looking at silly videos in bed? It also wasn't because he read books either, or because he was making new Lego creations under his covers. He wanted to go to sleep. Swimming made him tired. No, it was because of the strange noises he kept hearing. He never knew exactly what he was hearing because the sounds were gone as soon as he woke up. Tonight it was the same. He woke suddenly in a sweat and tried to remember what noise he heard, but couldn't. And why am I sweating? Jake looked at his clock. It was 2 a.m. Great, just great, he whispered to himself. He was scared that if he spoke louder, he might wake himself up further. To cool off, Jake pulled down his covers and opened his window. Then he heard a sound again. It was like someone was whispering. Then another sound, like an animal was howling, but had the voice of an owl. What are those strange sounds, he thought. So weird. As he was about to lie back down again, he noticed a light on across the street where Mr. McDonald used to live, the house the new neighbors recently moved into. Their lights were on, and they were walking back and forth to their large black SUV with tinted windows. What were they doing up so late? Jake whispered. Jake watched them for a few more minutes, but he had a hard time keeping his eyes opened. So he laid back down and quickly went back to sleep. The next morning, Jake crawled on his hands and feet to the kitchen table. Half asleep, he got up and sat in his chair with a plop. Luckily, he didn't have early morning practice because he would certainly yawn at least 100 times. Overly dramatic much, you stinky head? Jennifer, his older and, she thought, much wiser sister said. He grabbed a box of what looked like his favorite cereal and filled his bowl with super brightly colored balls. He poured milk on it, took a mouthful, and said, "Ugh, what is this?" "This is some new high-protein, no-sugar cereal that Mom bought," his sister said, laughing. "Very delicious, isn't it?" "Sugar cereal without sugar is just cereal," Jake said, unimpressed. "Eat up, Jake. You don't want to be late for school," his mother said as she poured herself a cup of coffee and put some bread in the toaster. His father came rushing into the kitchen, filled his travel cup with coffee, and kissed his mother. "Do you guys need to do that while I am eating?" Jake complained. "You're looking tired these days, little guy. What's up? Too much swimming?" his father asked. "It's not the swimming," Jake mumbled as he tried to swallow another mouthful of cereal. "Well, share with your mother. I have to get to work early today," his father said as he raced out the door. "I've been hearing noises at night, and it keeps waking me up. Sounds like monsters or aliens, or a cross between an owl and a hound. And last night, I noticed it was coming from the new neighbors across the street. They were up at 2 a.m. in the morning doing weird things outside," Jake said. "Oh boy, here we go again," Jennifer complained with a great big eye roll. "Jennifer, let Jake talk," her mother said as she sat down to eat her toast. "It's nothing. I'm sure they aren't aliens or secret agents or whatever. I mean, surely there is a plausible explanation for the sounds and our neighbors dressed in black at 2 a.m. while they are outside doing something or other," Jake said. "Oh, Jake, you certainly have an active imagination," his mom said. "He just watches too many strange TV shows and those gross cartoons," Jennifer said. "I do not. My teachers say I have the gift of an incredibly imaginative mind, and I am going to be a great athlete someday, too." Almost spitting out her milk, Jennifer laughed. "Yeah, right. From what I hear, you are the reigning champion of Daydream Olympics." "Jennifer, stop being so rude to your brother. Both of you finish your breakfast and get off to school. I need to get ready for work." After a long day at school and the hard work of finishing all his Brussels sprouts at dinner, Jake was tired. Jake often said that Brussels sprouts were actually secret agents from the land of mini cabbages sent to cause him distress. Of course, Jake wasn't too tired to put together a Lego set he had been saving, but he was too tired to pick up the Legos before laying down and promptly falling fast asleep. "Ow! Ow!" What was that? Jake whispered to himself as he was woken again in the middle of the night. He looked at his clock. 2 a.m. What is going on? He thought. Jake's bed was beside his window, so he sat up and parted the curtains to look outside. Again, across the street, he saw the lights on at the Neighbours and Lucas's parents walking around outside. This is very suspicious, he thought. The back of their SUV was open, and Lucas's father was again carrying stuff to put in the back, while Lucas's mother just seemed to walk around in circles. Are they making deliveries to their alien vampire colleagues? If they transform into bats, I am going to scream out loud, Jake whispered. As he wiped his eyes with his hands, he looked again as the SUV pulled out of the driveway and the lights in the house turned out. This is super suspicious, Jake mumbled as he closed his eyes and fell back asleep. The next morning, Jake plopped down in his chair at the kitchen table and grabbed a box of brightly colored cereal to pour into his bowl. "Is this the good stuff or the bad stuff?" he asked. "It's the good bad stuff," Jennifer said as she walked into the kitchen. "Full of sugar. You'll love it." "Jake," his father yelled from the hallway, "I just stepped on your Legos again, and your room is a mess. You aren't going anywhere today until all this is cleaned up." "You're such a stinky head," Jennifer said quietly to Jake. "Sorry, Dad, I'll get it done pronto," Jake said. "You're looking tired this morning, Jake. If you don't start getting some sleep, you won't be able to go to swim practice. The coach is already complaining that you are too tired." "It's the Neighbours, Mom. They are always up at the same time every night, and they make strange noises and do strange things. You know, vampires often roam around at night. They could be aliens or vampires or super secret agents, but most likely vampires." "Are you for real?" Jennifer said, laughing. "Oh, Jake. Maybe your sister is right. We need to stop all the scary cartoons for a while." "I thought you and Lucas were friends." "We are. He is on the swim team, and I have gone to his house to put together some Legos, but I can't shake the feeling that his parents are vampire aliens from outer space," Jennifer said, laughing. "Well, how do you explain the strange sounds at nights, the loading of their SUV, and the fact that Lucas's mother was just walking around in circles in their yard at 2 a.m. I'm sure there is a good explanation. Not everyone leads the same lifestyle as we do. That doesn't mean they are vampires or aliens or whatever you are thinking," Jake's mother said. Later, Jake was looking out the bay window in their living room when he noticed someone leaving Lucas's house, dressed in interesting clothes. "Hey, Jennifer, look at the person leaving Lucas's house. Why would someone be leaving at such an odd time?" "I feel like I am experiencing déjà vu. Aren't you supposed to clean your room before Mom and Dad get home?" "Don't worry. I am the world's fastest bedroom cleaner." "What am I looking at? And why are you so nosy?" Jennifer said as she walked to the window. "Don't you think the old lady's clothes look particularly formal and warm for this time of year?" "Jake, not everyone is aware of or cares about the latest fashion, and she's likely smarter than you. You would wear swimming trunks outside in winter." Or maybe she is the head of the secret vampire coven, Jake said, convinced that his imagination reflected reality. Oh, Jake, Jennifer said, rolling her eyes. I have homework to do. I think you better finish cleaning up your room before Mom and Dad get home. As Jake was cleaning up his room, he heard a ping from his phone. It was a message from Lucas asking if he wanted to come over to help put together a new Lego set he had bought. One good thing about Lucas, he loves Lego as much as I do, Jake said as he replied with a yes. After telling his sister Jennifer that he had finished cleaning his room, he headed over towards Lucas's house. Jake wasn't scared because he knew vampires didn't come out during the day. But as he got to the front door, he hesitated. Maybe they are special vampires. Just as he was rethinking his visit, the door opened. It was the lady he had seen earlier. Hello there, you must be Jake. I'm Lucas's grandmother. Please come in. I think you know where Lucas's room is. Yes, thank you, Jake said with a bit of a nervous tremor in his voice. The house is awfully dark, Jake thought as he walked to Lucas's bedroom. Hi, Jake, Lucas said as Jake walked into his room. I got this cool set with the money I earned from helping at the pool. Looks great, Jake replied as he sat down on the floor. So, where are your parents? Mom and Dad work nights, so they are likely still asleep. They both work at the hospital, and since they are new, they have to take the majority of night shifts for a while. That's why Grandma is visiting for the month. Oh, I see. It's no fun to work so late. It's okay. Grandma is fun. A short time later, Jake heard a loud ow, ow sound coming from down the hallway. What is that? Jake asked, suddenly very nervous. Oh, that's Fang. We are fostering a husky, and it won't leave my mother's side. Otherwise, we could play with her right now. A dog? That sounds like fun. I think my sister is allergic to dogs or something. Jake stayed at Lucas's house for a few hours before heading home to do homework before dinner. After walking in the door, his sister, sitting at the kitchen table reading, said, Jake, are you okay? You look very pale. And are those bite marks on your neck? Mom, come quick. I think Jake has been infected with Hemovirum noctis. Ha ha ha. You are so very funny, Jake said. After rushing into the room, their mother said, Oh, Jennifer, you scared me for a second. How was your visit with Lucas, Jake? Still convinced they are vampires or aliens or whatever? Jennifer asked, laughing. Not at this moment. Apparently, Lucas's parents work nights at the hospital, so that is why they are up late at night. Oh, Jake, I could have told you that. They are our new ER doctors, his mother said. Looking a little embarrassed, Jake continued. Yes, and they just got a new husky, which might be the sound that woke me at night. Lucas said that the dog is not howling as much now that it is comfortable in their home. You certainly are a silly boy, his mother said. A stinky head more like, his sister said. And that is the end of our story. Good night. Sleep tight.